Alright, let's start with the biggest twist no one expected, except maybe Steve Lacy. Sadie Sink's casting as Jean Grey in Spider-Man Brand New Day was a secret so tightly held that even the internet's best sleuths couldn't crack it, until an R&B singer dropped the bomb live on a red carpet. Let that sink in, pun intended. Steve Lacy, casually promoting his soundtrack song, calls Jean the villain, and confirms Sadie's role. And Sadie. She's laughing because, after a year of dodging questions, someone else finally broke the dam. That's not just funny, it's iconic. It's like Marvel's version of a plot twist written by the universe itself. But here's what I find fascinating. This wasn't just about secrecy. It was about control. Marvel doesn't just guard spoilers, they guard narrative power. And by letting Lacy, of all people, spill the beans, they turned a liability into a marketing masterstroke. Genius. Now, Sadie admits she knew nothing about Jean Grey before this. No comics, no movies, nada. And that's wild to me. Jean Grey is one of the most iconic mutants in Marvel history. Omega-level telepath, X-Men royalty, the whole deal. But here's the thing. Her lack of familiarity might have been the best thing for the role. Because if you're a blank slate, you're not competing with Famke Janssen or Sophie Turner's versions. You're free to build something new. And from what Sadie says, that's exactly what she did. She leaned into Jean's trauma, her fractured relationship with her sister, and the raw, messy anger of a teenager who's been weaponized by adults. That's not just acting, it's deconstruction. She's not playing a villain, she's playing a kid who's been failed by everyone around her. And that's the kind of nuance the X-Men stories thrive on. Let's talk about the VMAX twist because, holy cow, did that land hard in theaters. Jean's entire mission hinges on this cryptic code, VMAX, only for it to mean absolutely nothing. At first glance, that feels like a gut punch. But here's where Sadie's take shines. Jean already knew her sister was gone. The code wasn't about answers, it was about clinging to hope. And when that hope dies, that's when the real rage kicks in. What's brilliant about this choice is that it subverts the villain's motivation trope. Jean isn't evil because she's malicious, she's tragic because she's human. And isn't that the whole point of the X-Men? Mutants aren't born villains, they are made by a world that fears them. So when Jean snaps, it's not about the code. It's about realizing she's been fighting ghosts this whole time. That's the kind of writing that sticks with you. And can we talk about the physical toll? Sadie's neck was done after those thrashing scenes. But here's the kicker. She didn't just endure it, she leaned into it. She says the physicality connects her to the emotion. That's the difference between phoned-in performances and method acting. When you're thrashing around for hours, you're not just acting pain, you're feeling it. And that authenticity bleeds into the character. It's why those scenes feel so visceral. It's not CGI or stunt doubles, it's an actor embodying rage and trauma in real time. Respect. Then there's the Duffer Brothers connection. Sadie told them first, and their reaction. That's the best character, do it. That trust matters. The Duffers didn't just launch her career, they taught her how to navigate franchises. And that relationship probably shaped how she approached Jean. Because if you're entering the MCU, you're not just joining a movie, you're joining a machine. But having allies like the Duffers, that's your anchor. And Destin Daniel Cretton, her director from The Glass Castle. He pushed her to play Jean not as a villain, but as a young girl in pain. That's the thesis statement right there. This isn't Magneto-level ideology. This is a traumatized teen lashing out. And that's what makes her relatable. The scene where Jean hears Aunt May say, "We love you because you're you." That's the emotional core. Because Jean's entire arc is about identity. She's been labeled a weapon, a villain, a freak, but none of that matters when someone sees you for who you really are. And that's where the X-Men metaphor hits hardest. It's not about powers, it's about belonging. Jean's journey isn't about choosing heroism over villainy, it's about choosing self-acceptance over the lies others tell you. And that's why her future in the X-Men matters. Because if she can go from manipulating Peter Parker to standing in that Westchester mansion as part of a family, that's the redemption arc we need. So, yeah, Sadie Sink's Jean Grey isn't just another reboot. She's a reckoning. And I, for one, cannot wait to see where this goes next. What do you think? Will the X-Men films finally get her right? Let me know in the comments.